Okay, so unlike the previous problem, okay, in this one we'll figure out what the size of the balloon, the smallest size the balloon can be, such that it lifts a load. Okay, so you have a balloon and you attach a load to it, and we want to know what is the smallest radius r that'll lift this load. Okay, so when we say the smallest radius, in this case basically the smallest volume, and in order to do this, all we're going to do is we're going to balance out all the forces that are lifting everything up, all the forces that are lifting pushing everything down, okay, all the weights pulling everything down, and then the buoyant forces pulling it up. Now we'll assume that the buoyant force on the load itself is negligible. The load's size is small enough where the buoyant force really doesn't do anything. Okay. Now if the size of the load was significant, then you would have to use that also. It really doesn't change much in the problem. So we'll assume that a load is small enough where you don't have to worry about its size. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to balance the forces out. So first, let's again find the total weight, the weight of everything pulling it down, in order to do this, what we'll do is again, we'll find it'll be the weight of the balloon plus the weight of the helium plus the weight of the load. So there are three things that we are going to need here. Now the balloon weight we know, the load weight we know, the helium weight we do not know because we don't really know its volume. Okay, so we'll just leave it in terms of the volume, and then we can use that to figure out the rest of the stuff. Alright, so the weight of the balloon is going to be nothing but the mass of the balloon, which is 0.025. Remember, it's 25 grams, so you divide it by 1,000, that gives you 0.025. Multiply this by 9.8, plus the weight of the helium is going to be nothing but the density of the helium, which is 0.179, times the volume of the helium times 9.8, and the weight of the load is going to be nothing but 5 times 9.8. Great, we have these numbers. Now we can simplify this. We can obtain a number here. Okay, I'm just going to leave this thing alone for now. What we'll do is, in the meantime, let's calculate the buoyant force. That the buoyant force is only on the balloon. So in order to do that, we'll do rho Vg for the balloon only. The density now here is the density of the fluid, which in this case happens to be air, which is 1.29 times the volume that we do not know, times 9.8. Great. So now what we know is, in this case we want to just find it when it's just going to lift it. So we'll equate the two forces. Okay, anything more and the whole system is going to rise, anything less and the whole system is going to fall. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now what we have is we have 0.025 times 9.8 plus 0.179 V times 9.8, okay, plus 5 times 9.8 equals 1.29 times V times 9.8. Now the reason I left all the 9.8s is because you see that I can factor this out, and I'll simplify this and write it as 0.025 plus 0.179 V plus 5 equals 1.29 V. Now I can combine my like terms together, and I have 1.29 V minus 0.179 V, and all this is equal to 5.025. Now what this does is, you can simplify it further, and I end up getting 1.111 V equals 5.025, and this gives me the volume. It's 5.025 divided by 1.111. It is nothing but 4.52 meter cube. Now once we have this volume, okay, now I know that my object is a sphere, so I have 4 divided by 3 pi times r cube equals 4.52. And what this does is, now I can get my r cube itself. R cube is equal to 4.52, okay, multiplied by 3 divided by 4 pi, and which is about 1.08. Okay, just verify these numbers, and then r is nothing but 1.08 to the power 1/3 you get about 1.025 meters. Okay, so in this problem, we had to go back, but the size of the balloon was not given. We had to calculate the size of the balloon, so we used some ideas from dynamics to figure out the volume, and then from there the radius. Okay, so useful problem, important problem. Make sure you understand this.